What's up, Crypto Paradise fam? It's Ian and Nick. We're back with another interview. We're here with Abhishek, the founder of RGAMES. Just a little disclaimer and disclosure for you guys. We are actually investors in, advisors to, and friends of RGAMES for many months now through our brand, the Decentralized Incubator. We invested in these guys early on in the seed round. They've done a fantastic job. And one reason I wanted to have Abhishek on is he's really the secret sauce behind a lot of their success. And we'll get into that during the interview. But just to give you some ideas, the project launched, I think, what, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, something like that. Even with the market weakness that we're seeing, it's sitting at, I believe, 3 or 4x from the public sale price, much greater than that from the seed round price we got in. And that's a testament to their team and the decisions they made and everything they've done leading up to this point. I know there's a lot we want to get into in this interview. So with that, I just want to ask you, Abhishek, tell us a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into crypto? How'd you end up here? We want to get to know you.
Yeah, so brilliant. It's a cool vibe. And thank you for having me here. Yeah, it's always great to be associated with Ferrum. Being very fortunate to have relation with you guys. So my name is Abhishek Pegada. I'm co-founder and CEO of RGAMES. Basically, I come with this expertise of blockchain technology and gaming combined together, which becomes blockchain gaming. And I basically come from let's say a field which I've been practicing since over a decade. Before I got into blockchain technology, that is engineering, and to scale down to my specialization, that's automotive. So that's how RGAMES shaped up with the ideas of automotive, so racing and cars. So it's I can say for me it's just about destiny, right? And if you do not, I believe this, if you do not choose your destiny, the destiny chooses you. So I was introduced to blockchain right back in 2022, and I remember I was having a beer, and a friend of mine said, why are you wasting drinking beer? Just invest in Bitcoin. I said, hey, go away. And it was 12 years ago. If I did, I would have been probably retired by now. And then I again got introduced to crypto in 2017 during the big market crash. My friend said, "Oh, the market is crashing. Please buy." And I did not look into it. And I think that the third time I got lucky, and probably I was wiser at that time to understand this is a technology. It's not something the world doesn't understand. So I started discovering myself. I was into learning or getting certified about blockchain almost 24 hours. I used to sleep about 3 or 4 hours. Even if I'm not in my senses, like if I can say, excuse me, but even if I'm drugged, I was watching videos of blockchain. Blockchain was all my life. And so and the greatest thing happened was I was developing a game along with a couple of colleagues, and it was a game off the chain, not live on any platform. We played over Microsoft Excel sheets, and then suddenly it hit my mind that when it interacts with the blockchain, we could take it to the masses. And that's where I thought, gaming and blockchain can be something. It was already there out of the space, but I was naive. And then, I started integrating that. And again, probably this is a destiny. So I was kind of investing small as a retail investor. And then I met my partner in Netherlands. And he and me were a victim of a rug pull project. And we were trying to find the people who did this, and we met. And we thought, let's bring back the money by starting something new. We met over lunch, and then we trusted each other, and that's how the journey of blockchain began.
That's awesome. I love it. And I hear a lot of things there, passionate about blockchain, passionate about automotives, and I guess that really leads to RGAMES. The GameFi sector in cryptocurrency is seemingly a repeating and never fading narrative, and that's because globally there is a huge Web 2 demand of video gamers. You can get college scholarships now. You can do a lot of things in video game, and we have seen some small successes of getting that to Web 3 and making a token economy with games. the last cycle was a lot of play to earn, and they kind of just fell off because they just diluted the token too much. I guess there's a couple questions here. A, what makes you different in the GameFi narrative? Why did you go with the GameFi narrative? And then B, we can start to talk about token fundamentals and the RGAMES project itself that you guys are working on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think though it was very sad to witness and experience a pandemic, but then pandemic taught us, many things. During pandemic, I was into a regular job, and I was looking into expand my let's say my career into business. And then there were a couple of things which I noticed. Pandemic cannot stop. And one of them was blockchain, and then the other one was probably basic needs like medicine or dairy products. And I had a gamer. I had a friend who was a gamer, and he was playing games and earning money with crypto. So I was like, oh, this is something very cool. Even the world stops and people are not going to offices, you can still sit at home and make a living out of it. If not, but at least survive from it. So I thought, let's understand the utility of gaming. How does it use blockchain to create a new dimension, right? And I think from there it was no stopping. And I truly believe that I've said this many times, and it's very evident for me. I can see it. I get a vision, and like I've played games without internet, and then internet took over. I played games with internet, and I think this is the revolution or evolution where we are going to play games with wallets connected or to the blockchain. And I think we should, and I truly believe that. So I'm just pursuing the idea. And and in the past has taught me. We began with an idea. Even with RGAMES, it was something else. I mean, the core idea was what we have now. Developing high-end games and providing a very unique structure, which provides a neutrality on the platform for everyone who is trying to play the game. But then the idea was in such a way that every new narrative that comes inside this industry, like artificial intelligence or anything that is very well used within the blockchain, can be integrated, even though if it's gaming. And yes, so just trying to add more branches to it and make it a stronger idea, and moving forward improve the utility overall in the ecosystem.
Yeah, one of the things that attracted us to RGAMES initially, so look, there are a lot of gaming, sort of blockchain gaming projects out there. Not a lot have been developed by successful gaming studios like the ones you guys had. So that was one thing I think that sets you apart. The other thing is, I really like, me personally, I really love the racing narrative. If you look at the demographic of crypto investors and gamers, it's predominantly male. And obviously, I think we have a lot of work to do with bringing our female friends along into this space, so on and so forth. But the reality is the reality right now. And racing games really fit that demographic. Secondly, I felt like the sort of the blockchain integration element, where you have your car that you can upgrade, you own that asset using blockchain technology, that resonated greatly with me. So Abhishek, tell us a little bit more about how does the game itself rely on blockchain? What elements are blockchain or tokenized that set it apart?
Yes. So as a gamer, the most interesting part is fantasy. So me being an automotive lover, I always fantasize, let's say, a custom designed car by an OEM, maybe a Ferrari, which is only one in the world designed for me. But that fantasy probably cannot be fulfilled by many of these people, and they die, right? Because it's very expensive. It's millions of dollars we are talking about. But when we talk about gaming, we can experience that fantasy, though it's not real. I mean, we cannot take it out of the system and drive a real Ferrari. But it's something like, watching a movie and playing that character that you always thought of. So in gaming, that's how gaming narrative became, better in countries like India, where I come from, where people used to say, you're stupid if you play games. But then gaming comes with a lot of education as well. So that fantasy was kind of, let's say, 50% real. I'm not talking about the physical world. 50% of the real world, where you are driving that car, but we make it more interesting with the blockchain, where the car is coming out of the game uh, on the platform, and it comes to you. You own the car, right? So when you're not playing the game, you can display that this is the car I have, this is the vehicle I have, and that is something. Uh, I think it is the most valuable uh, thing that blockchain has provided to the gamers. That, let's just imagine a kid having a teddy bear and keeping it under the pillow and sleeping. It's always nice to keep it safe and near to you, the one which you fantasize, or the thing that you like. Uh, so that is something, owning your assets, and it's very dear to you. I was speaking to a person, one of the marketeer, and he had a Dragon Ball Z character behind it. It was a casted character, and he was about 45, 50 years old. And I asked him, is that Dragon Ball Z? And yeah, I love it, man. It brings back my childhood days. So yes, so that ownership is really very important. You own what you own inside the game. But on top of that, I really believe, though we are talking about many utilities, we have seen, how stock market has changed lives of many people. People have become the most richest in the world by owning stocks. And I think uh, with gaming, you can create a utility. That is one of the utilities, the token. And the token itself can change a lot of things with people who are into gaming, right? So you really do not have to invest anything on a platform, at least, but you can still make a value out of your time that you're burning while playing the game. So that time burned is directly translated into a currency that is being earned, and which is ultimately yours, and you can keep it. So that has created a lot of vibe around our community. Since we began, and our job is to make that currency more valuable. We totally believe in developing something which is quality, because it's some point of time it comes back. And like, for example, I was speaking to a guy, a marketeer, yesterday again, and I was explaining, like, we did this, and this game was developed by us, and was shocked. So like, that was done by you, and I love playing it. So more than money, these reactions of, let's say, saying that, oh man, we have experienced something nice, and I get a nice feeling by consuming your products, or using your products, is just that what blockchain is providing us. And combined together with assets ownership and the currency appreciation is what I think this tech and everything brings around. And
Yeah, I've been saying for cycles now that I think blockchain and crypto, with the collision of gaming, is meant to happen. And we've seen, some highlights and winners, and we had the metaverse cycle. We haven't seen something really break into the mainstream, and that's why, let's see if RGAMES can do that. The reason I say that is like you said, a lot of people burn a lot of time on these video games, and you earn these assets. I play Rocket League. You get these skins, you get these rewards, you get all of that, but all that value is stuck in that game. I can't even trade it or sell it to somebody else in the game. Say I'm done playing Rocket League, I don't have time anymore. I built this car. Now, with blockchain technology, being able to sell that to another gamer to get real world income, or get, RGAMES tokens or whatever it may be, would be a big incentive and a big reward for those actually playing and grinding and winning in this game and getting really good at it. Because right now, as it is currently, in order to make money with video games, you need to be a streamer, so you need to stream almost all day, every day until you gain popularity, or you need to be in the top 0.1% and go to tournaments or get on a team to earn. With blockchain technology, you have this opportunity where any level of gamer, if they put in enough time, even if you never, get that top skill level, you can still earn these assets that might have a marketplace value within the game and outside the game that you can capitalize.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that, Nick. And the reason, we are not still in the mainstream is, if you really compare blockchain games with the most popular games on the planet, we are not even close to what they are doing. And they take years and years to build a game of that level, and with a team of thousands and thousands of teams. So, so I really believe that having a community is really very blessing, but the community needs to be tamed, educated, and they should understand, things take time. Uh, so once that is being attained, where the community confidence is there, you do not have to worry about any pressure coming from that side. You just keep building and try to touch the level of what the Web2 games are offering. Then there's no brainer. I'm playing a game like, let's say, FIFA or any PUBG kind of game, and while playing, I'm earning. What can negate that? I mean, what point can negate that? I don't understand. There's only one point, which is the security part, where we see acts going on and things happening. But of course, we are at very early stage, and we need to improve on the security part. And moving forward, I think it will become very, very solid proof to make everyone comfortable to play games on the G.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out real quick, and then we'll just ask a couple more questions of Abhishek, but one thing I wanted to point out, I think you guys have done an excellent job of balancing the long-term vision, building the game, developing something that could achieve mass adoption within not just the blockchain gaming space, but potentially even wider than that. So sticking to that vision, but also doing those day-to-day things that's needed to be done to sort of satisfy the token investors, which is a very different mindset and approach. So yeah. a couple of like decisions I think that you guys made, which led me to believe, look, we're in good hands with the leadership team at RGAMES. Decisions like when to list on certain centralized exchanges, right? A lot of times founders think their product is so good and their vision is so strong and everything they're doing is so amazing and going to change the world that they don't need to do certain things like, list on multiple centralized exchanges at strategic moments around the launch. They don't need to work with the best market makers to make sure that the volumes, liquidity, and so on are sufficient. They don't need to work with marketing agencies. Blah, blah, blah. That was not the case, and that is not the case with RGAMES. In fact, some of the best marketing agencies that we've ever worked with were introduced to us by Abhishek and the RGAMES team. So they take what really has struck me in this whole process of working with these guys is that this whole time they've taken the token side very seriously and made a series of good decisions. Not to say it's been perfect, but it's been very, very good. And while also keeping foot on the gas pedal, no pun intended, on the product side. So I just want to commend you for that. I don't think people quite realize, like in your community, for example, I know there's a lot of people very bullish, but then there's some people, oh, when this, when that. It's like, when marketing. I'm like, these guys are doing a lot of marketing. What, are you out of your minds? So good job all around. I just wanted to throw that out there to so people understand my thoughts and feelings on the matter. Not financial advice and like that. That's my personal opinion. I wanted to ask a couple more questions before we end. One, what are some of the things you can share? What's some upcoming alpha that you can share for the Crypto Paradise community? Maybe about the game, maybe about something related to the token. I don't know, but what's some of the upcoming stuff that you can share with us today?
Yeah, absolutely. The main focus now for us is to focus more on how do we align with the process of release of products. So we have the alpha going on, and people are pretty much happy about it. But people are a little bit sad because they're playing the game, but they cannot make anything out of it. So there's a very nice planned schedule where we are targeting 2 game modes, and we have elevated our plans, changed our plans. In fact, we were actually going to launch our second game mode by the end of this week, but it has been delayed, and the delay is not because we were not able to complete. And in fact, Ferrum knows, you have seen that version before anyone has, and it's already playable. So we want to integrate the idea of interoperability when these 2 modes are live. So you'll be able to take assets from the mode which is live, which is the street race mode or circuit mode that we called, to the next mode, and already try to understand and the behavior of these assets, conversation from one, not conversation, but transfer of one assets to one game to other. And we also have taken, let's say, higher measures of multiplayer mechanism of structure of how it works inside the game. because due to our past experience, we have seen that that's a very critical part. And if there are some kind of failures in it, it directly relates to a person's investment, or let's say, or directly on the tokens that they are earning. So yeah, it's looking very strong. We had to come down to a very strong decision, in fact, and we are ready to take everything that is coming from the community of when, and things like that. We do understand, but I tell everyone, see, you do not have to be an investor of our game until unless you see the results. You wait, because I really believe that it's not going to end tomorrow, day after tomorrow, or let's say in 1 year. You will still be there, and you can still buy the token after a year, and you have these 12 months to assess ourselves, sorry, to assess us, and then you can see what we have done in the past 12 months. And then when you get in, you'll be much more comfortable rather than, just foaming and buying and asking us questions and even though we show you results, you still don't trust us, right? So pretty much, that product side is I would say very solid, and I am actually very peaceful about it because the team behind is yeah, I'm sorry, not boasting about them, but just doing marvelous job. But then it's like it's if I understand, I take this example of a locomotive, right? So locomotive, you feel so very comfortable if you sit in a let's say tier one compartment, and you're very nice smoking a cigar and everything, but then the movement of yours, what makes comfortable is underneath. So the product is that compartment, and what's underneath is the marketing plan, and how you improve the team size and how it works coordinately. So for us, marketing is the most astonishing thing on crypto. We have seen things moving in back 5 years ago, and now people don't even look at such stuff. So it's so very nice because it's not boring at all, right? We learn so many new things, like, yeah, we share so many things that this is something new, we should try this, yeah. And sometimes it does fail, but it's good if it fails, and we will never touch on that side if it fails at this moment. Maybe, after a year, that thing is going to be the most effective thing. So we do really plan out the marketing very well, and in fact, yesterday we discussed with a couple of marketing agencies what our next plans are, and when do we to the narrative that we have in the coming weeks or days, and just time it so very well that uh, it cannot be a failure in all departments. At least we'll be ahead somewhere. Maybe let's say in user acquisition, maybe in getting volumes, or maybe more people knowing about this. So something like that. And so yeah, so that coordination between every department, the team, the market, and the product is very important, and we move that with the globe. Yeah.
Yeah, one thing that's always struck me is you guys have a bias for action, right? Like, I think you hired 3 or 4 marketing agencies around the time of your launch. You guys listed on 4 centralized exchanges. You guys were measuring the impact of the respective marketing agencies and the KOLs that have been onboarded. And then you reported back to us, hey, use those guys, don't use those guys, that KOL was good, that KOL. That is rare, folks, for a project to do that much, to analyze all the data and then to take that data to make better decisions. That's how it should be done, but that's not how every project operates. So I have great confidence in you guys because of the way you have a bias for action, the decision-making process, the leadership, team, everything I think is really, really top-notch. I can't wait to see this next iteration of the game. I think that's really good. It's going to take things to the next level, right? Because until there is that product that's in the hands of the masses, not just an alpha, but a full launch, you're not going to see really the full impact of the marketing, because it's kind of just that, oh, look at what's going to be coming versus look at what's here. I think makes a big difference. So I'm really excited for what you guys are building, what's coming up. Nick, I don't know if you had any comments.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of projects in crypto do have this like paralysis by over-analysis, and you have to work quick in crypto, because if you wait and you delay, market changes, narrative changes, the price of your asset changes. So you guys are taking the approach of, hey, we're going to do these things, we're going to take the data points, and we're going to take note of this, because if you truly believe that you're not here a flash in the pan. You're here for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. You want to take these data points, take this action. Hopefully it has a short-term great impact. But now you have, all right, these 3 things work, these 3 things didn't. So over the next year, we're going to reuse these 3 because now you have those data points. You didn't wait and you're trying to make things happen. Obviously, everything has to be budgeted. Everything has a cost in business and crypto and in everything else. But I do like that you guys are trying to make things happen, trying new things, and then kind of writing down the notes of what worked to implement them on phase 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah. Very, very important point, Nick. Sorry, Jan. Because we have been victims of taking more time to take decisions. It's only because of kind of a little bit of the budget is always limited, right? We cannot work with unlimited budgets. But this is a very valid point, and we need to take decisions fast. And sometimes those fast decisions are kind of bringing a very huge impact, and we are like, what just happened? But then we do see failures, and failures are common, I think. But I do agree with that because a couple of months back, market was very different, to be honest, and we saw listings happening 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. They did not do anything because people were thinking, this halving is going to come and the market is going to crash, and this is the history. But very surprisingly, the market is still holding at a point where which was probably not expected, and many plans were made according to it, but those failed because now we cannot do that way. So yes, I totally agree on that, and we have been trying to adapt that and move our things accordingly. And always fascinating to know.
You guys have done a phenomenal job with being nimble, adapting market conditions, adapting to the changing narratives, adapting to data points you guys have taken in. So you guys have done a wonderful job with all those things that you really expect and hope a team, how a team should operate in crypto. So wonderful job all around. I would say can't wait to see the game, the marketing campaign that's coming. I'm sure you have some exchange listings coming after that. I know you guys are always pedal to the metal. So yeah, wonderful job. Keep it up. Before we jump off, one of the things we always like to talk about on Crypto Paradise is, look, we're all here for to have financial success, all those wonderful things. But it's not just about numbers in the bank account. It's about making your lives better through crypto, through investing, through certain choices that you're going to make. So Abhishek, I always like to ask our guests, what does Crypto Paradise mean to you? In other words, tell us a little bit about what you're doing before, where you're at now. What are some of your long-term goals in this space? We want to understand what's your Crypto Paradise.
Oh yeah, so it's a very vibrant industry, I can say. I've seen people behaving absolutely like my boss back in my company, and I've seen people behaving like my cousin who's just turned 18, right? And all doing brilliant jobs, all doing something out of this world. It's hard to believe. So such vibrant industry, and where, see, yesterday when I already mentioned this, when I was speaking to the marketeer, he was moving his house and he was in his car and he was taking the meet. I have no memory of me working on a Saturday for my previous company, right? It was Friday, 4 o'clock in the evening, and we are gone. If there's a fire inside that company, we don't care, right? So that's the beauty. We are into it without realizing we are into it, and we still don't. It's not still stressful. It's kind of like if you wait, if you think, oh, tomorrow is Monday, you're not in the right field. And it was the case with me when I was working. And now it thinks, oh, tomorrow it's Monday, I have a meeting. So I think I'm in the right direction. And the idea of interacting to thousands and thousands of people, including the community, I'm sure the growth is much faster than probably interacting with a group of, let's say 5 to 10 in your team. And that's my experience. It can change from person to person, and I have learned more from interaction than I have learned more from reading in the past 2-3 years in crypto world. the diversity of people associated in this world. So let's say, I was working for a Dutch company, and our project was for a Dutch company. Almost all my colleagues were like 70-80% were from Belgium and Netherlands, which was great. But then I do not remember speaking to an American during that time. Maybe once when I was on a beach and during a holiday. And now see, I interact with Chinese, I interact with Americans, so it's all together, so many cultures together. And not only we understand the behavior of what's happening in that specific region, but we also do learn something different that can be applied directly into our jobs. Let's say what we are doing, maybe let's say a behavior or how the market behaves in that particular region, only by interacting with colleagues. Yeah, I can go on, I can talk about what's beauty about
it sounds to me like you're already in your crypto paradise, right? Like,
yes,
it sounds like you're loving the journey, and you're just loving being here and waking up on a Monday and interacting with different people, building a community, building a great product. I guess that is really what it's all about, because if you're only ever thinking about the end goal, but you're miserable in the here and now, that's no way to live either, right? So you got to find the thing you're passionate about. You want to wake up on Monday happy, excited to take meetings, happy, excited to do your job. So I'm thrilled to hear that that's your perspective. Before we jump off, let us know where to find more information about RGAMES. Like, what are some of your socials, handles, so on and so forth?
Yeah, I think the best, I always say this is my preferred mode, and the best place to interact and the fastest way to reach out to us is on the official Telegram chat. That's where you will get the fastest reply, and then you could, if you're a gamer, of course, gamers do prefer a lot on Discord. Create a ticket, ask us anything, advise us anything. Discord, Telegram, Discord, and then you can go to Twitter. If you want to get more information about, if you want to read about us, understand what's the latest news, I think X is the best way to look at us. But apart from that, yeah, of course, any other channel, if you want to read an article of what we did previously, Medium is good. If you want to, let's say you're having a quick snack and you want to watch a 5-minute video, you can go to our YouTube channel and watch the trailer or whatever. So yeah, choose anything, we are there.
And I think the official Twitter handle is r_gamesofficial, and then I believe the website is r-games.tech, and the alpha version of your game is live, so people can play that first version of your game, and then hopefully we have that version 2 coming soon. And I'm assuming with all these versions, we're going to have more and more blockchain and token integration, token utility. We're just getting started here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, can't wait to see where you guys continue to take this. Remember to smash the like, the subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment as well for Abhishek or any of us. Remember, we're giving away 500 USDT every week. We're giving away 2 free nights in Tulum every month. You can chill on the beach. You can hang out with your friends and family. This is Crypto Paradise. We're here to learn. We're here to educate. And thank you so much, Abhishek. I will see you guys on the beach.